So America PAC is going to keep going after this election, and be preparing for the midterms and any intermediate elections, as well as looking at elections at the district attorney level and basically judicial sort of level.
So that was Elon Musk on election day, seeming to revel in some ways in his ability to use his vast wealth to influence American voters. And now, as we were detailing and discussing last night, he's at it again, spending what I would consider an eye-popping amount of money in Wisconsin on a local race for the state's Supreme Court. Now, in just 39 days, voters are going to go to the polls to choose between Judge Susan Crawford, who also, I would note, was endorsed by the state Democratic Party, and Judge Brad Schimel, a hard-right MAGA conservative and an ally of Donald Trump. The winner of that will serve a 10-year term and decide on a range of important issues that impact people across the state of Wisconsin and also define the ideological makeup of Wisconsin's Supreme Court. And Elon Musk is trying to make sure that his candidate prevails. His America PAC just launched $1 million canvassing effort, and another Musk-backed group has put down $1.6 million to run scorched earth ads, is the only way I can describe them, like this one.
The monster faces 100 years in prison, but Judge Susan Crawford let him off with just 4. That was Crawford's choice. Now he's back on the street, walking distance from a school. And Judge Crawford, she wants a promotion. Susan Crawford, dangerous decisions, wrong for Wisconsin.
Now, the target of that multi-million-dollar effort by Musk and his partners, Judge Susan Crawford, she joins me now. It's great to see you, Judge Crawford. Thank you so much for taking the time. And I played that. I thought about not playing it, but I played it because I wanted people to see what kind of scorched earth ads and how much money is being put behind them. What impact are you seeing of this?
Well, Jen, this is unprecedented, I think, in Wisconsin politics, particularly in judicial elections, to see somebody like Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, wading in to try to buy a justice on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. I have a lot of confidence in Wisconsin voters. I think they're going to see through this effort and do the right thing and make sure that we have a fair and impartial Supreme Court after all of this. But, it's really unprecedented.
Of all of the issues, I mean, there are a lot of issues that are going to be before the state Supreme Court in Wisconsin. That's why it's such an important race. Why does Elon Musk care about this race?
Well, I think that this is the first shot across the bow. Wisconsin is a really purple state. It's always a swing state. And I think Elon Musk saw an opportunity here to buy a Supreme Court in a state. And I don't think he's going to stop at this one if he's successful. I think that people should be paying attention to this race. It's really a critical race for the people of Wisconsin, but I think people across the country should be paying attention to this.
That's why we're talking about it. Absolutely. And I ask this because at the federal level and here in Washington, we're seeing a lot of ways Musk is getting involved in the federal government, destroying federal services and getting rid of federal workers in a way that in some cases might help his companies. And there was this report, it was in January, that Musk's electric car company Tesla sued Wisconsin to challenge a state law forbidding manufacturers from owning dealerships. Now, 8 days later, Musk wrote on his social media site, very important to vote Republican for the Wisconsin Supreme Court to prevent voting fraud, which feels very in your face, but it's, I think, for anyone watching who's just not as attuned to this, they're wondering, is this personal? Is this related to his business? Could it be both? What do you make of that?
Yeah. Well, I think it's probably both. And you're right, that timing is certainly suspicious at the least. And it's also just he tweeted that tweet just 3 days after my opponent, Brad Schimel, was in Washington, D.C., attending big dollar galas in Washington. He came back and bragged about how he has been wearing out his knee pads, begging on his knees for conservative billionaires like Elon Musk to fund his campaign. And, you know, I think Elon Musk saw an opportunity there and saw a willing customer in Brad Schimmel. Brad Schimmel, this isn't the first time that Brad Schimmel has been willing to sell justice to the highest bidder. He did that when he was a Republican attorney general in Wisconsin by refusing, being one of the only states to refuse to get involved in a lawsuit to hold pharmaceutical companies accountable. Brad Schimmel was on the take from the pharmaceutical companies to fund his reelection campaign. So he's just doing it again. And Elon Musk, you know, he's a guy who can spot an opportunity. And I think he spotted one in Brad Schimmel.
I can't imagine. I mean, you alluded to this, but that the people of Wisconsin take too kindly to a tech billionaire trying to swoop in and swing up a state Supreme Court race, pay for it. What are you hearing back home from folks?
Right. Well, I'm hearing a lot of strong reactions from people. People don't like it. They're suspicious when somebody like Elon Musk, somebody who is, you know, in the process seemingly of dismantling our federal government, starts playing around in Wisconsin elections, particularly one as critical as this election. So I'm hearing from a lot of people who are really, really concerned about this. And, you know, I guess the silver lining is that it's gotten people angry and it's gotten people really engaged in this race.
Do you expect, are you expecting that he's going to continue to spend this amount of money on this race over the next 39 days, I believe it is?
Well, you know, he's got unlimited means to do so. I guess time will tell. And again, I just hope that people are paying attention out there and watching this closely. If people want to learn more about this race, I invite them to visit my campaign website, crawford4wi.com, and help out and get engaged. I think people across our country should be really worried when somebody like Elon Musk is going after a state Supreme Court. If it can happen here, it can happen anywhere.
Susan Crawford, thank you for joining me, helping us understand this important race to watch.